Hey everybody, welcome to Matt's Metal Show. What are we talking about today? I don't fucking know. I just decided to do a metal show real quick and let's talk about what's going on. Um, let's talk about the new Iron Maiden album. Why don't we do that? Everybody else has. It's called Senjutsu and it just dropped not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, before I went on vacation. Um, I remember the first single, Writing on the Wall, was not impressed with that. Like the acoustic intro, because Nate hadn't really done that before. But dude, like, Bruce sounds weathered. And I know, dude, he's old, man. He's like me. We're all old. We're all getting old, so we can't do the same shit we've done our entire lives. Bruce beat throat cancer and shit like that. So I wasn't impressed with Senjutsu. When Stratego came out as the second single, I got that, and I felt a little bit better about that one. But still, I like to do reviews and stuff on like Amazon. I reviewed it and I was like, it's cool. But were losing their fucking mind over this song, like it was like it was fucking Run to the Hills, like it was the fucking greatest fucking Iron Maiden song that ever came out, and that kind of baffles me. I guess people are just so uh, chomping at the bit to get new music from these fucking legacy bands that everything they come out with, they're just like, oh my god, it's so good. It was all right. So when the album dropped, I went ahead and I picked it up, and I can tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. Not like, oh my god, but like, oh my god, it's not fucking terrible. Um, it's a fucking Iron Maiden album. It was recorded a while ago, from what I read. And then because of the pandemic and all that shit, they kind of pushed it back like a couple of years, I think. Um, Same producer as the Book of Souls. Uh, Nothing on here that's going to just blow your fucking mind. But there is some songs that are kind of different than what Maiden normally does. I read one interview with a guy who was like, this is basically like a Bruce Dickinson solo album. And he was talking about like Stratego or something. I'm like, well, Bruce Dickinson didn't even write that fucking song, so that's kind of weird. Everybody kind of put their stuff in except for Adrian Smith. No writing credits for Adrian Smith on this album. Or not Adrian, sorry. Dave Murray. No writing credits from Dave Murray on this album. Adrian writes with some Steve Harris tunes. It's a double album. It's about 78 minutes, I want to say, or something like that. They probably could have shaved off a little bit and made it a single disc, but they did not. They went ahead and put a 2-disc album out. The lighter stuff is on like the first disc, and then you get the last 3 tracks on this album clock in at almost like 35 minutes. 3 tracks, 35 minutes. Woo! So you're in for some long Steve Harris written. Wow. Um, my favorites off the album, Lost in a Lost World is really cool. I like the Time Machine. I like Death of the Celts. Death of the Celts is one of the 3 really long tracks on this album, even though Lost in a Lost World is like 9:32. Um, Death of the Celts it's a cool song because it just goes through. Now, I think one of the things I will tell you about Senjutsu, aside from only the title track really has anything to do with Japanese anything. Senjutsu is like the war drum thing that fucking Japanese people do. And that's a cool song. I like the drumming on it. Nico sounds great on this album. Bruce sounds good when he gets touched up, and you can tell like some of the stuff that the producer did to touch up Bruce's vocals. And when he does that, Bruce actually sounds pretty good. when they don't, like on Writing on the Wall, Bruce sounds like he just strolled through a desert for 40 days, and then they handed him a microphone, and he's like out of water, and he's like, Writing on the Wall, you know. Live with it, people. This is what we get. I think they learned something about the previous albums, probably since 2000's Brave New World, where they would just do a 9-minute song and Bruce would just repeat the lyrics over and over and over again. Like Blood Brothers comes to mind, like right off the bat. Can he say Blood Brothers like one more fucking time? I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out. He doesn't really do that on this album, which makes those really long songs like palatable. Like you could actually listen to them and not fucking sit there and go, "Oh my god, will Bruce shut the fuck up?" Death of the Celts, lyrically, like there's not much of a chorus, so it just goes. Every lyric is different. It just goes down the line. It's 10 minutes and 20 seconds long. Out of all the long songs that they have done in the past 20-something years, it's a cool song. Is it Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner? Fuck no. But it's pretty cool. The Parchment is 12 minutes, 39 seconds. It's listenable. It's not anything awful. And then Hell on Earth is pretty cool. It's at 11 minutes and 19 seconds. Overall, it's a solid fucking Iron Maiden album. I was pleasantly surprised. I like Book of Souls. Book of Souls had songs, same thing, like 13 fucking minutes long and Jesus Christ and this big epic stuff. But when they do it to where Bruce is not just repeating the same shit over and over and you're just listening to them jamming, basically, it's pretty cool. Some of the fucking guitar solos on there and you're not really sure who is doing what. My little thing just fell over. They're pretty erratic and they fucking sound cool. They sound fucking lively. So that is one thing I will say about this album is the guitar work on it when they are doing the soloing. And, you know, most of the time you can kind of tell if it's Adrian Smith because he's probably the best guitar player in the bunch. It's pretty fucking fresh. Like I said, there's a couple of songs on here where they kind of like step out of their little fucking Iron Maiden box and they're pretty cool. So, fuck, dig it, man. I dig it. Is it fucking Number of the Beast? No. Is it fucking Peace of Mind? No. Come on, people. It's 2021. But it's a fucking solid album, and I would totally recommend. Go out and buy it. Fucking enjoy it. I try not to pick that shit apart because, with the exception of like No Prayer for the Dying, the other day I actually I commented on something. I think it was Pete Pardo's post on YouTube. I commented on. It was the one where he was going over Senjutsu, and I put, well, it's not No Prayer for the Dying, and it's not Number of the Beast or Peace of Mind, so it's kind of in the middle. And then some fucking idiot went on there and tried to defend No Prayer for the Dying to me. We all know, or maybe we don't, but we all know I fucking hate No Prayer for the Dying. There's like 2 fucking good songs on that album. The rest of it's fucking garbage. Bring your daughter to the slaughter. Let her go. Let her go. Yeah, let her go and run the fuck away from that album. Anyways, that's Senjutsu. So fucking dig it, man. Boom. Ow! All right, what's next? Let's talk about Wolfgang Van Halen. I bought the Mammoth WVH album like when it popped, like a couple months ago, and I listened to it, and I did a review on Amazon. I got a lot of hits on it. I went through track by track, and I fucking listened to that album, like, you know, and gave it a really good listen to, and I popped it on a couple times here and there since then. It's pretty fucking cool. It's not fucking Van Halen, people, and it shouldn't be because it's fucking Wolfgang. He has nothing to fucking do with Van Halen, with the exception of that being his fucking last name. I mean, I know he was in Van Halen, you know, as the bass player, but I don't think he fucking wrote anything. I mean, he was on the album A Different Kind of Truth, but I'd have to look it up, but I don't think there's any Wolfgang Van Halen songwriting credits on that fucking album. Most of that stuff was old shit that was in the can. So, um, I follow him on Instagram, and he's opening for Guns N' Roses. We'll get to Guns N' Roses in a minute, but he's Wolfgang Van Halen. He's Valerie Bertinelli and Eddie Van Halen's son. Big fat motherfucker. He is. I'm sorry. Nobody elephant in the fucking room. That would be him. He always gets in fights with people because, well, I'll give Wolfgang some credit. One, these people are fucking morons, And the other day I watched did a post because he was saying I'm not gonna fucking play Van Halen songs, and he shouldn't. First of all, he's an opening act for so he's playing 45 minutes. He did do some headline shows. But why the fuck would he play Van Halen songs? He wasn't on those albums. So the joke kind of came around, and he instigated it, where he said, well, I'm not going to play fucking Panama. And so the other day, I think they were playing in Wrigley Field, I want to say, in fucking Chicago. And he said, I got a special, set list for you guys tonight. And then it put like intro, Panama, 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 Babel, band, introduce the band, Panama, Panama, Panama. And then somebody asked him, what are you doing for an encore? And he's like, well, Panama, of course. I thought that was funny. The people that are out there like bashing him to play Van Halen songs, fuck those people. They're fucking retards. And so I will give him some credit for, chanting back at these motherfuckers and saying, fuck you. First of all, Wolfgang Van Halen, he's obviously like Eddie's heir, so he obviously owns all the shit, the house and 5150 and all the guitars and all the tapes and all that shit. But he owes you nothing. And he will point that out pretty quickly. And I think kudos for fucking Wolfgang. Fans need to understand that was his dad. We all love Eddie Van Halen because we grew up with him and we're like, Eddie Van Halen. But dude, privately and personally speaking, Wolfgang Van Halen don't owe you shit. And he will tell you that. And good for him because he doesn't owe you shit. If you're ever going to get any long-lost Eddie Van Halen tapes, well, you'll get them on Wolfgang's fucking time when he fucking feels the need to do it. On the other hand, I will say, Wolfgang's a fucking spoiled little fucking fat ass that fucking grew up in fucking Hollywood with famous parents. And, he's 30-something years old, fucking never moved out, still lives at home. Kind of a fucking little spoiled brat with a bunch of money now. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can get Irvin Azoff to just go do whatever the fuck for him. And, he's pretty much got everything dialed in. He never really needs to work. As far as the album is concerned, like I said, I listened to it. I bought it, gave it a shot. Opens with a song called Mr. Ed, which I don't know if people think that song's written about his dad. Now, the one thing people need to understand is because when this album came out, obviously it was months and months after Eddie passed away last year. This album was in the can like 3 years ago, with the exception of Distance, the bonus track that he came out with as a single. So when you're kind of reading into it, a lot of people kind of get that view as to where like this is after Eddie died. It's not. Eddie listened to this album. This album was sitting done like 3 years ago. And then, Wolfie took the time to take care of his dad and do all that stuff, because obviously Eddie had some serious health problems. We all know now. We didn't know that back then, but we all know that now. So this is nothing new. So when you listen to it from a different frame of mind where it was way before Eddie died is when it was done. All done by Wolfgang. He played bass, drums, guitar, sings on the album, plays keyboards on the album. Kudos to him. It's a fucking cool album, man. Is it fucking Van Halen 1? No. And it shouldn't be, because it's not fucking Eddie Van Halen. It's Wolfgang Van Halen. I think that's a differentiation where people need to fucking figure that shit out pretty quickly. Wolfgang doesn't have anything to do with Eddie Van Halen, with the exception of being his son. He's not Eddie Van Halen. He doesn't play guitar like Eddie Van Halen. I mean, he could. You could sit there and finger tap all day long, but he's not gonna, because he doesn't need to, because he's his own person. But on the other hand, he's also a fucking little rich bitch that grew up with a fucking silver spoon in his mouth, and he's a bit of an asshole, you know. I follow him on Instagram. I don't follow him on anything else. Instagram's enough. You know, he's a bit of a bully. He is. But sometimes it's justified. Sometimes I'll comment, I'll be like, I don't know how you fucking deal with these assholes and sit there and say this dumb shit to you. Because they do. People are angry at him. They want him to fail, you know. They're like, you know, they're all bitter because they didn't grow up in Eddie Van Halen's house. And, oh, well. But the album, it's pretty cool. Like I said, I've listened to it probably like 10 times now. I really like Don't Back Down. That's a cool song. I like The Big Picture is a good song. I like You're to Blame. I like Feel. And I like Distance, the single that he wrote about his dad. And when you listen to that, it's like, whoa. A lot of darkness on this album. And like when I did my review, I was like, well, I don't know if the darkness is intentional or if he's just being like an angsty. Well, he's fucking 30 now, but this album was done when he was like 29. You know, I don't know if he's being like an angsty fucking 29-year-old or if growing up Van Halen wasn't really a fucking, you know, all sunshine and daisies and shit. Because we all got to know, dude, Eddie had a lot of issues, and I don't speak ill of the dead because I fucking love Eddie Van Halen. He was fucking great. But you can see interviews. There's an interview where he takes people through 5150, the studio. And in part of that interview, he tells a little story about Wolfgang got kicked out of school because he took something and threw it at his teacher. And Eddie was like, yeah, he should have hit him in the head. You know, there's that shit where you see it and you're just like, wow. Just fucking let your kid do whatever the fuck, really? Let him throw shit at your teacher. My kid threw something at his teacher, I'd knock him the fuck out, you know, I'm just saying. But Eddie's like, yeah, that's fucking cool, man. So you could see where Wolfgang, he was raised where he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. You know, a little bloated fat fuck, which is weird because Eddie was fucking real thick. Of course, he had cancer, but even when he didn't have cancer, Eddie was like this. I guess it all comes from Valley Bertinelli's side, the Italian side, because Wolfie is big. He's a big fucking fat dude. Anyways, there's some cool songs on here. I dig what he did, you know, but like once again, it's nothing fucking stellar. I didn't listen to fucking Mammoth and go, oh my fucking god. It wasn't like I put on Blizzard of Oz. It's just cool. I don't know how else to say it. It's just a cool album. It's solid. There's not a bad song on it, but a lot of it's just fucking white noise. But the lyrics are very angry, very fucking pushy, very bully. I don't know if Wolfgang was a bully or if he was bullied. I don't know which one, but definitely a lot of dark shit on here. So you could definitely kind of read some shit in and go, wow, I guess it wasn't all fucking awesome at the Van Halen house. But dude, like, we all know, Eddie was a boozer and, you know, he fucking did a bunch of drugs and, you know, Valerie said, oh yeah, they were doing fucking cocaine all the time and cheating on each other. And, you know, Eddie was a fucking pretty much out and out fucking boozer, you know, especially around the later 90s and early 2000, like 2004 when they did that reunion tour with Hagar. Hagar tells you, like, all Eddie's teeth were gone. They had to take him out because he was doing like MRIs and shit, and you can't have like a bunch of metal in your mouth. And he was like in a fucking hotel room with a fucking shades drawn, drinking fucking bottles of wine. He was all crazy. He just smelled bad, and he was all. That sucks. They did clean him up though when he did that 2017 tour, the last tour with Van Halen. You know, I think he was in a better place. So Eddie had his ups and downs, like we all do. We all have our demons. So, woo, like my demon. But anyways, kudos to Wolfgang, but also fuck him. I'm not a big fan of him. He's just some fucking rich little bitch that, you know, makes music, and his mommy goes, "Ooh, you're so good, Wolfie," and it's like, the guy's 30-something fucking years old, dude. Cut the fucking cord, man. Fucking grown up, man. Jesus. All right, let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about Guns N' Roses. Real quick. I know I always bash Guns N' Roses. I'll do a Guns N' Roses show. That'll be my next show. It'll be really short though, because what do they have, like 4 fucking albums, 5 albums? Guns N' Roses doing a tour, and of course they put Wolfgang Van Halen to open. That's cool. Playing a bunch of stadiums, making a bunch of money. I don't know. Is this the still like when Hell Freezes Over tour, or I don't know. This is like part 7 of the fucking reunion tour, and it's really not a reunion tour because it's fucking Izzy is not there, so it ain't a reunion tour. Adler, I think, does a couple of appearances, or he did in the beginning. I don't know if he's on the tour with them, but I know he's not playing drums. Dude, Adler, I love Guns N' Roses. I've had a stroke because I did so much fucking heroin and drugs. So I'm just, I love making fun of Steven Adler because fuck him, fucking drug addict. Oh, whatever. He's just pathetic. Yes, it's so sick to watch it. He's like, oh, I really wish the guys would call me. Dude, Axl Rose will call me before he calls you. He don't even fucking know me, so. Your track record, which is weird because they were all a bunch of douchebags. So he must have been extra douche 7.5 or something. Anyways, Gilby Clarke's not even in there. I don't even know their other fucking guitar. I'll look it up and I'll put it right here. It's basically Duff and Axl and Slash. Now, I'm on Instagram, and my chick sends me all these TikTok videos. I don't join TikTok because I would sit there for fucking 800 days. Because really, it's addicting, right? You're like, oh my god, I don't like a dog. But there's a bunch of TikTok videos that show up on Instagram, and I always watch them. And there's a lot of ones where, like, I don't know who it is, but somebody that's friends with them, obviously, they're always shooting stuff where they're standing on the side of the stage and they're filming Guns N' Roses. They have this monstrous fucking stage. It's fucking huge. It's like half a block long. The drummer's sitting in the middle. His kit's like this fucking big. It looks like Stray Cats playing the fucking US Festival. It truly does. Like little 3-piece fucking Stray Cats, and they're on that giant motherfucking stage. That's what it looks like with a little drum set. You got bloated ass fucking Slash with his fucking his 100 Les Pauls that he has. And his hat, his new hat, because it's not his original, because somebody stole it. He's up there all... And then you got Duff, who... I've never been a huge Duff McKagan fan. I don't know. I think he's a shitty bass player, but I guess people dig him. Whatever. He plays with a pick, and he's like, tongue, 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 tongue. It's not Geddy fucking Lee, man. It's not Jocko. But... And then you got old ass Axl, who looks like my fucking dad up there. He's got a fucking headband on and some old fucking hat, and he's like up there. And it's like weird to watch because, first of all, I don't understand why they have this huge motherfucking stage. Second of all, I saw Guns N' Roses in their prime. I saw them open for the Stones with Izzy, and then I saw them with Metallica when they were all Hollywood and had all the backup singers and horn section and bullshit. Watching them now, 30 fucking years later, I'm not impressed. And I know the tickets are fucking outrageous, So it seems to me, and they're like, we're fucking back tour. That's what it's called, the We're fucking back tour. And it's like, well, you've been back for like 5 fucking years. I know the pandemic like erased a year, but really, is this it's the greatest hits fucking, oh cool, they're gonna do all the fucking songs you've heard 100,000 times. Now the funny thing is like, are they doing a new fucking album? And if they are, what's it gonna sound like? Because I don't know about you, but I think the magic of fucking Guns N' Roses just worn off considerably in the last 30 fucking however many years. People are like, yeah, they're coming out with a new album. You think it's going to be fucking Appetite for Destruction? You are fucking mystified. You are fucking way off. It's not going to be. Is it going to be Chinese Democracy? Maybe. It just seems weird. Like, they're not touring an album. I don't know if they can get together and write songs. It's like 3/5 of the original Guns N' Roses. And they're boring as fuck. Like, I'm watching the footage, and they're, like, Slash is so fat when he's all standing over there. And then, Duff's walking around. And then fucking Axl's still doing his dance, but it's slow, and he's got this big belly, and he's fucking creepy as fuck looking. And, yeah, it's not... I guess if you want to go and pay $300 to go see Guns N' Roses and then just watch them do their greatest hits, why don't you stay home and buy their greatest hits? To me, I'm not excited about that. I know people like are fucking nostalgic about seeing their old rock bands, but like, what is Guns N' Roses doing that's new that's fucking exciting? Because it's not exciting. I saw Eddie Trunkaway. I guess he went to the Vegas show or something, and he's, fucking Eddie Trunk. He's kind of like sucked their dick, and he was like sending all these fucking pictures of fucking Guns N' Roses on stage, and I was like, fuck, dude, like, calm down. Like, it looks boring as shit to me. I don't know. We're fucking back. Well, go away. Fuck. Anyways, it's like Motley Crue. It's like, oh, well, Motley Crue pushed their tour back to next year because they're hoping. Now, I saw a video on whatever the fuck where Vince Neil's all wrapped up in this machine, and it's like, and it's trying to burn his fat off of him. And it's supposed to be this machine where you plug it in, and it's like you did like 20,000 crunches in like 20 minutes or something. Leave it to old Vince to take the easy way out, like you did before. Remember, you went and got plastic surgery, because he was all fat and gross, and they're like, "Oh, we'll fix you up." That's Vince Neil. Like, you're fucking rich. I'm sure in your giant palatial mansion in fucking Tennessee, you could, maybe find a room where you could get a fucking treadmill and just fucking work out. Look at fucking like Sylvester Stallone, man. That guy's like, what, in his 70s, and he's so fucking buff that he would take you and break you in half. That guy's in his 70s. Vince Neil's got money, dude. It's called personal trainer, it's called dietitian, and it's called get on the fucking treadmill and stop fucking pounding whiskey and fucking eating fucking Taco Bell, dude. No, go pay whatever. I'm sure that costs like a fuck ton of money to go lay on the table and get that machine to try and work some of that fat off you. But, and then maybe go to a voice coach. Well, first you got to get in shape to get your fucking vocal cords back in shape. And I don't know if that's even possible for Vince. But, yeah, 2022, they're going to hit the road. And Vince is getting into shape. It'll be fucking terrible. I'm not really interested in that anyway, so. But hey, whatever. I'm just not understanding. For somebody who has the means to get in shape, and Vince does, he has the fucking means to do it, but he's a lazy motherfucker, and he's just got to try and do the easy way out. And it's like, dude, why don't you just go get lipo and get a fucking belly band and, or you could look like Mick and get spondylitis or whatever the fuck, and then you'll be skinny. But hey, fuck it. Just start doing cocaine again. But Vince so out of shape and did cocaine. He fucking do a line and fucking just have a heart attack. And I think that's what everybody's scared about right now. Because we watched the footage back in July. I think it was July, his first show in Iowa or something, where Vince, big fat ass Vince, gets up there. And he did most of a set, but then at the end, he blew his voice out and he had to walk off the fucking stage. I think what everybody right now is like going, and I'm sure the insurance people are, because they paid them a lot of money. Like Live Nation paid them like $100 million or some shit like this to do this fucking tour. I'm sure they're all fucking going, God, I hope Vince doesn't die on us. You know, because, dude, he's in heart attack fucking country. He's been in heart attack country for fucking years. So that's Vince Neil. We'll see what else we got. Let's see. The new Megadeth album, hopefully, I don't know when. It's called The Sick, the Dead, and the Dying. Hopefully that drops soon. I've looked it up and, like, I don't know when the fuck it's coming out. I know they're, like, doing practice shows or they're on tour already. James Lomenzo, shocker, is in the band. David Ellefson is the fuck out of the band. I saw a little blurb somewhere where they're like, oh, Dave Ellefson has a new band out and it's called whatever, and I don't give a fuck. I care about that as much as I care about KK's fucking Priest. You know, a lot of bands in the studio. Hopefully we get some new shit. Hopefully we get the new Megadeth sometime fucking in the next decade. Metallica is supposed to be working on a new fucking album, but I heard that one's not going to be out till next year. I heard Priest is working on a new fucking album, and they're doing some shows too. So maybe we'll get a new Priest album pretty soon. I got the new Alice Cooper album, and I know I'm way late, but I got that Detroit Stories album the other day because I kind of missed it. I remember when it came out, and I was like, oh, I love Alice. I have all of Alice's shit, so I meant to get it, and then, I don't know, a fly flew past me, and I lost my attention fucking span, so I was like, what happened to Alice? Alice who? Oh, look, something shiny, you know. I got it. It's got, 15 songs on it. It's pretty cool. It came out, It came out this year, but earlier, and I just totally fucking... I remember when it came out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get it, and then I don't know what the fuck I got. And then next thing you know, like, months go by, and I was like, going through something, and I was like, oh, yeah. The fucking Alice Cooper album. Detroit Stories. Detroit Stories is what it's called. It's got a bunch of guests on it. Everybody's supposed to be from Detroit. It's weird, though, because they do a Velvet Underground song, and Velvet Underground was from New York. And that doesn't make any sense. Go Man Go's a cool song. Social Debris I like. $1,000 High Heel Shoes is good. Hail Mary's good. Detroit City 2021 is good. I Hate You is good. Wonderful World is good. And the last song, East Side Story, is really good. So, about half the album is fucking stellar. And then the other half, it's alright. It's not fucking... It's 2021 Alice Cooper, so it's fucking cool. I fucking dig it. Alice always gives me, like, his last one, Paranormal, was fucking cool. Even the one before that, Welcome to My Nightmare, was cool. Had that song he did with Kesha called What Baby Wants. I fucking love that song. I love it when they mix and match between genres. Get Kesha. Kind of like that shit that Ozzy did with Post Malone. That's a cool fucking song. So, what else do we got? Fuck, I don't know. I think that's it. Can't really tell. Oh, yeah. So, I follow Rudy Sarzo. We all know who Rudy Sarzo is. Rudy Sarzo, bass player. Played in Ozzy. Played in Quiet Riot, originally with Randy. It was on the cover of the Quiet Riot 2 album that came out in Japan only. where they're all in the locker room. Wow. Like, wow. Why? Let's put the band in a locker room with a bunch of dudes. And we'll dress them in pink. And it's 1978. Talk about missteps. Rudy was in quiet Riot, and then when they jettisoned Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake out of Ozzy, Randy gave Rudy a call to join the Blizzard of Oz with Tommy Aldridge, and then he was in Blizzard for a while. Then Randy died. They did that live Speak of the Devil album, which was it was funny when I was doing my Ozzy thing, and I used to love that album when I was a kid. I remember I had the fucking album, big gatefold, that has Ozzy with the big fangs, and he's like holding the cross, and he's got the little midget dude. I dug that album when I was a kid, because I was a kid. I was 13 when that fucking came out, and that was one of the albums, man, I've listened to a million fucking times. As I was doing my research, though, I didn't realize. See, there was a lot of speculation that they held off on Tribute 5 years after Randy died. It came out on the date that Randy died 5 years later, on March 19th, 1987. There was a lot of speculation, there's been over the years, that they were supposed to do that live album, but then Ozzy didn't want to put it out because he thought it was like cashing in on Randy's death. That is not correct. And I always thought that too, but that was not correct. Actually, Jet Records had just did a deal where they had licensing rights for the Black Sabbath songs, and they wanted a fucking live Black Sabbath album. And this was even before Randy died. And Ozzy was on board because Ozzy back then he was so fucked up in drugs and alcohol, he didn't give a fuck. He wanted to do whatever the fuck he could. They didn't want to do the fucking Randy shit, the new stuff. And this pissed Randy off, and it pissed Tommy Aldridge off, because by the point that they were where they were at, they already had Blizzard and Diary out. They already felt like they were an established band, an established musician. They already had a catalog that they could fucking that was popular that they could work with. But no, Jet Records wanted the fucking Black Sabbath shit. They wanted to cash in and make some money off Black Sabbath. So they wanted to do that album. And I read somewhere where Randy and fucking Tommy refused to do it. And then Ozzy started bullying Randy, and he almost left the band. But basically, Randy said he would run out the time in Ozzy through his contract, and then he was fucking gone. And a lot of people don't realize that over the years. They all think like Randy was just, he was. No, he wasn't. He was fucking miserable, and he actually was like hating on Ozzy because Ozzy was being a fucking dick to him because Randy didn't want to play on the fucking album. And what were they supposed to do? Go get Bernie Torme to fucking play the Black Sabbath songs, But then Randy got killed, and then I guess before Randy died, though, they actually came to grips with it, and they were like, whatever, I'll do what I'm contractually obligated to do, and then, whatever. And same with Tommy Aldridge. But then Randy got killed, so I was reading up on it, and we all remember, I don't know, we do, some of you are probably too young to remember this, but I remember this because I was a huge fucking Ozzy fan. Ozzy shaved his fucking head. Y'all remember that? He was on the cover of fucking Circus magazine. He had like Mickey Mouse ears like in the background, and he was bald. Y'all remember that? Well, Ozzy, a drunk fucking piece of shit, I guess one night he got fucked up and he decided, hey, I'm going to shave my motherfucking head. And he Speak of the Devil, only the band practiced. Ozzy never even showed up to the practice. And when he came out, they did it 2 nights. The Ritz in New York. And Ozzy had like a chair. He had his freshly shaved, and he had a chair sitting next to him where he had the lyrics, and he was like reading the lyrics. So it would have been really awesome to see that performance like captured on video, but it was not, unfortunately. It was captured on audio over 2 nights, and then they kind of played with it to see what was the best. The other thing I never noticed about that album, Brad Gillis from Night Ranger played in the band. I fucking hated Brad Gillis. I even hated Brad Gillis when he went back to Night Ranger because of the shit he had done with Ozzy. I didn't like the way Brad played Randy stuff. I didn't like the way. I liked the fucking Speak of the Devil album, but years later when you listen to it, you're like, dude, he's not even close. It's like, the rudiments of the songs are there. The basic structures of the songs are there, but when it comes to doing solos, Brad Gillis wasn't even fucking close to Tony Iommi, so it's kind of a fun album to listen to because it's like, well, listen to it. But then again, they practice like 3 times, and then they go and record this fucking album. Ozzy wasn't even involved because he was too busy getting drunk and shaving his motherfucking head off. So he could read the lyrics, because some of those songs he hadn't performed in a while, and he was all fucked up anyway. So I thought that was interesting. But anyways, Rudy was on that album, and then Rudy left, and then he went to Quiet with metal. It's not a good album. I remember when I liked Quiet. I didn't even like Quiet Riot when Randy was. It was Kevin DuBrow. It was fucking annoying, and Quiet Riot was a bubblegum. And people could, say, oh no, there's a bunch of Randy fans out there that love Randy. But Randy, shit, it was bad. That's why those albums came out in Japan. and Randy wasn't particularly proud of those albums, and I have them. You can listen to them; they're not awesome. And that was one of the reasons why Quiet Riot never got signed at that point. When fuck, you listen to their songs, they're not good. They sound like the Bay City Rollers. They're like a mix-up between like Bebop Deluxe and the New York Dolls and Sweet and fucking garbage. They were not good. And Kevin DuBrow, he was the anchor around their neck because he wasn't a good singer. So Rudy bailed, and he went and did, Metal Health, which was a huge selling album. But really, the other day I popped it on because I used to have utter disdain for Quiet Riot, even back then. I remember I went and saw them on their second album with, what was it, Kick-Axe and Whitesnake opened, and it was on the Condition. The best album Quiet Riot ever made. There's at least 5 really good songs on that album. Metal Health, there's like Metal Health and Come On Feel the Noise. The rest of that album, Slick Black Cadillac, it's an old throwback song that they used to play with Randy. Or what's the song that they dedicate to Randy? It's just Kevin DuBrow like making money off of Randy and being like, I loved him because Randy bailed the fuck on you. Yeah. I don't know. Kevin DuBrow is a fucking train wreck anyways. So Rudy was in Quiet Riot for a lot of years. Then he went to Whitesnake. What was he in? He was employed. He was in Dio. He was in, what fucking band is that? I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Oh, the Guest. Rudy's been in every fucking band in the land. I met him, super nice guy. Total Christian nice guy. I follow him on Instagram. Such a nice dude. Got rails, and you kind of get an insight into Randy a little bit. And Rudy was there the day Randy died. And there's all this speculation that Don already has pictures of Randy fighting with the pilot. But he won't put them out. And you're like, dude, it's been how many years? A lot. Almost 40 years. Next year will be 40 years since Randy died. Anyways, I follow Rudy on Instagram. Long story, eh? We've covered a bunch. I love to talk. I follow him on Instagram, and I guess Rudy's back in Quiet Riot. And so Rudy posted a thing. He's like, back where I belong, blah, blah, blah. And I put, Rudy actually liked it. And I don't know if he was understanding what I was saying. Who the fuck is in Quiet Riot? Well, obviously, Randy's dead, Frankie's dead, and Kevin's dead. Frankie wasn't the original drummer anyways. It was Drew Forsythe. Rudy wasn't even the original bass player. It was Kelly Garney who was the original bass player. So I'm like, I guess Rudy was on their most popular incarnation, but I just thought it was weird because it's like Chizzy Pearl is the singer. I've never heard that guy sing. His name is It's fucking out the window. Wasn't he in Rat for a while? Any guy that would name his name Jizzy is a fucking loser. So there's, I'm trying to wrap my head around like, and they're like, oh, it was approved by the Frankie Banali estate. Then you're like, well, did Frankie Banali own Quiet Riot? Because he wasn't an original member either. It's all mysterious and weird. So I put tribute band. Because they are. What, Rudy Sarzo's back in the fucking band, so now it's Quiet Riot? There is no inkling of Quiet Riot left in that band, with the exception of Rudy. I don't think Rudy wrote anything. Money, because Kevin DuBrose like signed his fucking life away. You know, they all did. That was back in the day when you would sign these record contracts that would sign your fucking life away because all these guys were greedy and they wanted like, oh, I don't give a fuck. You know, I just want to be famous. Oh, you're famous, but you're not making any money because that guy's fucking taking it all. So cool, you're spokesperson, awesome. And that was Kevin DuBrose. Kevin DuBrose got his 15 minutes. He got to hang out with a bunch of rock stars. He got to bang a bunch of chicks, I guess. Any chick that would fuck Kevin DuBrose, though, like, I would have to question that. Did a bunch of cocaine. That's how he died. He fucking OD'd on cocaine and died on his couch. And, you know, Frankie Banali had to break the fucking door down like 4 days after he was dead. He was wearing a wig. He had a fucking wig that he wore. Weirdo, man. Never a big fan of Kevin DuBrose. Thought he was no talent. The guy had no talent, but whatever. Obnoxious. But yeah, so Rudy's in Quiet Riot. I guess I don't know. I'm sure that's not very lucrative. You know, what do you get, like $20? You know, to go play somebody's birthday. I'm just trying to. Is even around right now. Like, I don't even understand that. I can't wrap my head around how do you call it Quiet Riot, because it's not. And, you know, everybody bitches about Kiss. I do. And Queensryche and all these bands that, like, they don't even have any of the original members. You know, Foreigner's still going on. Lou Graham's been out of the band for 100 years. Even Mick Jones has been out of the band for 100 years. When do you stop? Because Quiet Riot, dude, even when Frankie Banali was still alive, I didn't really consider it. Kevin DuBro's dead. Once Kevin DuBro died, it's really not Quiet Riot. It's not. Remember when they kicked Kevin DuBro out of the band and they got fucking the dude from there? That'll tell you how awesome Quiet Riot is. Kevin DuBro gets kicked out of his own band. The band that he helped create. Because it was Randy Rhoads, Randy Rhoads, Drew Forsythe, Kelly Garney, and Kevin DuBro, right? That created Quiet Riot. Kelly Garney was just a friend of Randy's, and Randy taught him how to play bass so he could play in his band. But that was the original Quiet Riot. And then the famous Quiet Riot was Kevin DuBro, Carlos Cavazo, Frankie Banali, and Rudy Sarzo. And that was the Mental Health album. That was Condition Critical album. And then they came out with QR3. And then they kicked Kevin the fuck out of his own band. And they got Paul Shortino. And they did this QR album. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. It was not good. Paul Shortino. You know, he was Duke Fame and fucking. Shortino's a great singer, but that album was fucking stupid. It was so record company fucking song doctor bullshit. Desmond Child shit. Fucking Aerosmith, fucking Soul Your Soul fucking album, and it did nothing, and it shouldn't have done nothing, because there's not a song on there that was just so fucking formulaic and bullshit. But the fact that, you kicked Kevin DuBro out of his own fucking band, see, that'll tell you right there what kind of contracts they signed back when they got fucking, Mental Health going. They just sold their fucking souls, dude. They sold their motherfucking souls just to get an album, just to get a contract, and either they didn't read the fine print that said, you will never make any money because we're going to take it all off Spencer Prof or fucking Pasha Records. That shit happened a lot, man. A lot of those 80s bands. They didn't make any money, man. Unless they survived long enough to get past that contract or had a different label like go to bat for them. Like Judas Priest with Gold Records, at least they had Columbia or CBS. I think it was Columbia. At least they had Columbia to go to bat for them and get them the fuck out of that contract. Billy Joel, fuck, he signed a contract when he was 20 years old or some shit like that. And God, not until River of Dreams or something. The guy that he still got money from fucking Billy Joel. Very end, man. Finally, I think the last song was "Go Fuck." Back in the day, man, they were thinking with their dicks mostly. How we're gonna get a bunch of chicks. The smart ones had fucking lawyers, man. The smart ones lawyered up. People like Axl Rose, man. Dude, he got the Guns N' Roses name. He's probably more now because they're making all kinds of money off this fucking tour. Fuck. So yeah, Rudy Sarzo's in. He's in Quiet. Not cool. Hey, Mark, not the other day. Now it's 2 months ago, but the other day, actually, the albums dropped and I got them. Was the 30th anniversary of the fucking Black. And I remember I was talking to my bro Jeremy because we were kind of both listening, and I was like, "Is this remastered?" Because it says it's remastered now. There was a Super Jumbo Deluxe one that had like 7 fucking it has like James scratching his ass at like 7:13 in 1990. Shit like that. I didn't really need to dig that deep. I didn't go for the cheap version is just the remastered album. And then there's a middle version that's like 3 discs. We all have the live shit from Live Shit Binge and Purge, which is the Mexico City show. The audio one is Mexico City show. And then they have the Seattle show from the Justice Store, which is fucking awesome. And then it has the San Diego show. One of the San Diego shows. There was 2. I think that's the night that I was there. I'm not gonna go look through and see if I can see myself. But we have the live show from Mexico City, which is Live Shit Binge and Purge. 3 discs. It's back when everybody would do a fucking solo. Jason Newsted would do a 12-minute bass solo. Kirk would do a solo. Lars would do a solo. James would do, it was like 4 hours long. So I wasn't really that interested in the live version, but I got the 3 discs, and it was cool. But I remember I was putting it on kind of next to the Black album. I have the Black album, the original one that I had. Okay, it's 91. Everything else I have on vinyl. But I remember I was listening to it, and then I would like go, hey, and then I'd go and listen to it, the original, and there is like that much difference. Seriously. Now some people could be like, whoa, what the fuck? I thought this was remastered. Well, you gotta understand, the Black album was digital. It was fucking well produced by Bob Rock. So there's not a lot of things that you could clean up on it. It's almost fucking flawless anyways. I mean, I never listened to the Black album and said, God, I wish this was louder. Unlike some of the early stuff now, when you listen to Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All, those sound great when they're remastered. Even Justice sounded great. Master sounded great, but Master sounded great before because really they were all produced pretty well for what they were. But I think the earlier albums definitely like get more of a touch up than the later albums because like the next album is what, like Load? How are you gonna touch up Load? Change the cover so I don't need to look at Cum and Blood. But it's cool. I don't know if it was anything that like anybody really needs to go out and fucking buy. Like, the demos are interesting. They have like little riff tapes from like Kirk and James, like little riff tapes where they like come up with the germ of the song. But other than that, it's the live stuff's kind of chopped up. It's from like Moscow and like all over the place. So. But I did revisit that album, and it was fun to listen to. I fucking love that album. Everybody pisses on that album. Well, not everybody, because 16 million fucking people in America bought it, so... all the little fucking old fucking metalheads with Metallica, they sold out. They all sound... In my head, they all sound to me like Steven Adler. That's about how smart they are. Oh, Metallica sold out, man. I mean, the Black album is still sell out. No, it was the Go to Vancouver with Bob Rock and get your shit straight and make a ton of money. And come out with a really good album. It's a great album. So, but the remaster really doesn't do that much for it. So you could probably leave it alone if you wanted to. But I thought it was cool to have. I love Metallica though. I'm waiting for their new album. Let's see what they do. The last one, the first disc was great. Second disc, not so much, but the first disc was great. What was that? Hardwired Self-Destruct. Head Moth to Flame. Build a high wall. To choose my name. Together. Seduced by me. I'm about to do the blame. Maybe they'll do a fucking duo with fucking Gaga on this one. Thing is, well, okay. So the other day, I'm. Sometimes I shoot these shows, and then it takes me forever to like go through and actually like edit them and do that kind of shit and throw in all the little fun things. And I was doing my Motley Crue show, which will come out like soon. I'm almost done with it. I'll probably finish it today and then put it out. Not that anybody cares, but you know. Oh. But it was weird because there was 2 spots. And I was showing my chick this. She's in Mexico right now, so I had to videotape it on my phone and send it to her. And I guess down in Mexico, the the internet's not awesome, so she couldn't really tell because she said the videos came out kind of shitty. So I'll have to show it to her when she gets back. But weird thing was, I just finished my AC/DC one and posted it like last week, and that had been sitting around since June, and it's fucking almost the end of September now. Today's Stephen King's birthday, the 21st. Well, Stephen King. It was weird though. I was editing my Motley Crue video and I had the headphones on and I'm putting pictures and putting comments and shit and looking shit up that I, didn't know while I was doing the recording right off the cuff. And there's like 2 parts on that video where I'm sitting in this room right here. And I have a light right here shining on me. That's why I'm all shiny. Ooh. And I have a light over here. And I always get shitty lighting on this because I'm in my fucking man cave. And I have a big sliding glass door. Right there. And there's a window over on that side. But I can't turn all this shit around because I'm unplugging stuff. Ah! Ooh, look at that hellish light. Do this, and then you get perfect light for like 20 seconds. Anyways, I'm in this room, and I'm editing my video, and at one point, you see this weird fucking shadow go across right here, like this, on that back wall right there. Okay? And then you hear this weird audio. Ooh, something fucking weird. And then, later on in the video, this fucking weird audio kicks in and it's like, sounds like a lightsaber. Because I showed it to my son this morning and he's 6 and he watched it and he was like, oh, it sounds like a lightsaber. It was like, wow, wow. But it was weird. This weird audio came in and then another, like, flash of a fucking weird shadow fucking went by. Now, the weird thing is, there's nothing in this room that can make a shadow except me. The lights are up there. So, okay, I can make a shadow on my face. I can't really make a shadow on the wall. It was fucking weird, man. Now, the house that I live in is fucking weird shit happens. Now, we were on vacation a couple weeks ago. Went up to the Redwoods, did a bunch of fun stuff, went to Frisco and shit. I'll put a huge Gravity Falls fan back about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's based on this place called Gravity Falls, Oregon. Well, the show, the guy who wrote the show, Alex Hirsch, he based it off this place up in the Redwoods called Confusion. I wanted to go to Frisco because I fucking love Frisco. Let's go to the Redwoods and go to Confusion Hill. So we got to go to Confusion Hill, and my son got to see what Gravity Falls, it's a cartoon, but what it was based off of. And he actually got to meet the guy that was based off the show, Drunkle Stan. The guy was super awesome, and he gave me one too, but he gave him a little thing with Bill vacation, my chick's aunt was coming to take care of our dog every day because we have a Shepsky named Logan who's a butthole. He's sleeping right now. Usually he's like trying to eat his way through the door. Every day, Tia would come over and she would feed Logan and play with him a little bit and then make sure he was okay and then she'd leave. One of the days she came, and it was kind of later into our trip, she opened the front door and she heard like footsteps like running off down the hallway. You have like hardwood floors. And at first she thought like we were home, like we'd come home. Because she didn't really know which day we were coming home. They didn't really tell her. And so she was like, oh, she kind of thought like we were home. So she just went outside and she fed Logan. And she played with him for a little bit and filled up his pool because he plays in his pool out there. And when she came back in, she heard shuffling footsteps again. And it wasn't until she like left the house that she realized like nobody was home. So that was weird. I've lived in this house for 21 years, and there's been some weird shit that's happened all the time. So it was strange when I was editing my video, and if you want to watch it, you watch my Motley Crue video. I say, hey, something weird's about to happen, and you can see it. Definitely easier to hear with the headphones on, man. There's some weird shit going on. So check it out. Tell me what you think. I sent it to my chicken. I go, hey, I think we captured some ghosts. You know, I've always like been kind of into that. Not hardcore. I'm not gonna go bust out the Ouija board and see who the fuck's in my house. But there's a room which you can kind of see. See that room over? There's a doorway right there in that room. We call that our haunted room. And that room, we kind of just keep shit in there. It's one of our extra bedrooms. And this room is the original part of the house as well. The rest of the house was kind of added on over the years. But this one, and you can see the hallway right there. Right there. Weird shit happens in, like in this half of the room and in that room. That room we just keep storage. There's a bed in there and like a bunch of shit. There's a closet in that room. And my daughter used to live in that room. I had a roommate that lived in that room. My niece used to live in that room. My sister-in-law lived in that room. Every person that's ever lived in that room has said fucking weird shit goes on in that room. There's this weird closet that was framed and added on because the original part of this house is from 1951. And back then, it was only like a little 2-bedroom house. And this room has a closet. But that room, it didn't have a closet because there's linen closet out in the hallway. And so somebody over the years, they framed a closet in there. It's a little tiny closet. It's got little 2 doors. And the weird thing is, if you look in that closet, it has popcorn ceiling. And all the ceilings in my house are smooth, which is fucking weird as shit. So at one point, it was like a popcorn, like acoustic ceiling. And that's the only place in the whole house where it still has that. Well, people always hear shit in the closet and weird shit happens. But so here's a little story though. And one day my son was about 2, about 1, apparently talking. So he was almost 2, I want to say. We were at home. It was like my day off. We were playing and stuff, and we were cleaning the house. And we keep like back then we kept some of the cleaning supplies. That back then the room was fucking empty except for like a couple boxes and some stuff. And I remember I walked in there one day and my son came in there and it was a hot day like this. It's like 90 fucking degrees outside. 97 today is supposed to be. I remember we walked into the room and I went over to get this big feather duster that we have. Because I was doing some dusting, because there's always fucking dust everywhere. And remember, my son, the closet door was open, because it's just 2 sliding doors. and the sliding doors were pushed over to one side. And I remember my son, like, he backed into the closet and he looks to one side and he goes, ugh. And then he comes out and he goes, this is straight. No one's ever, like, said, hey, there's a fucking ghost in that room. I go, what? Gives me goosebumps, right? I go, oh. He backs into the closet again, just backs up into the closet. He looks over and he comes back out. He's all gone. And then he, like, walks out of the room like nothing. I got the fuck out of that room. So this house has some weird shit, and apparently I captured some weird shit on my last show. So, which was back in June though. So I don't fucking know. Today's Stephen King's birthday though. So and tomorrow is my sister Katie's birthday. So I don't fucking know, but that was some weird shit. And I remember as I was editing the video, at first I was like, it literally looks like a plane flew past the house because we live on like trajectory to the airport, one of this little small airport, and planes fly over. But the weird thing is there's no fucking way for a plane to cast a shadow in this fucking room because this window right here has an awning over it. And so there ain't no way a fucking plane did the shadow. I mean, the shadow just went. It was fucking bizarre. But the bizarre part, the second time, was that weird audio. I don't know what the fuck. It was like, it was fucking weird. It went on for like 10 seconds. So maybe I captured something. Now, the weird thing also, too, if you watch it, the first time it happens like nothing. Like I'm just doing my show, yapping about Motley Crue. And that Motley Crue show is funny because I fucking ramble about Motley Crue even before I like discuss their albums. I go into like this huge fucking dissertation on my love and hate for Motley Crue. But the first time it happens like nothing. I'm just talking. I didn't see it on the monitor. I didn't see some weird fucking shadow, and I didn't hear any noise. So, but the second time when it happens with that weird fucking audio that kicks in, I like kind of hesitate. Like I'm talking, and then it's almost like I kind of lose my fucking track, and I was kind of like, so weird. It's all over metal though, right? Metal, yeah. Anyways, everybody stay metal. Don't forget to subscribe. I got a fucking comment because I know my videos are too fucking long. I don't give a fuck. I just like talking. So leave some comments, subscribe, like, don't like, tell me to fuck off, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. I'm wearing my Goonie shirt today. So on our vacation, we didn't go to Astoria because that's up in fucking Oregon and we didn't have that many days. But we went to a beach called Goat Rock Beach. And it's the very last scene in the Goonies when they're sitting up in the parking lot and they look and they see the pirate picture up of it. It was pretty amazing. All the beaches and shit, all the way up the coast and stuff, and the redwoods, fucking mind blowing. And then Frisco, got to walk all around the city, walk under the Golden Gate Bridge. That city, it's fucking awesome. So, San Francisco, had a great time. Ow! So, that's all I got for today. Everybody stay metal! Yeah!